I'm Morgan Giss MacDonald, founder CEO of Paper Raven Books, a publishing company, and the Professional Book Editors Association, where we train and mentor book editors. And I worked with Esther Kiss for about 8 months and got phenomenal results. We're talking over 30 specific interviews or articles with logos associated with them that were published in places that brought me traffic, that got my name more recognition, and I was blown away by the process. Now, I was surprised, firstly, because I had some hesitations coming into this whole media game. I was brand new to all of this, and maybe like some other folks out there, wasn't sure whether this would really work for me for a few reasons. Number one, I didn't have a name for myself. I've always operated underneath a company name. No one knew my personal name. Yes, I had a book out there on Amazon with some reviews, but there was no reason why anyone would ever know my name in particular. Number two, I've never done anything like this before. Yeah, sure, I write blogs and newsletters, but I had never written for the press, for the media, and certainly not for big media like some of the media outlets that we were going to go for, the Forbes and the MSN and the Fox Business and the ABC and the NBC. I'd never written for those kinds of outlets before. Did I know whether I was able to do this? And then third, just like everybody else, I'm busy, right? I'm running the publishing company. I train and mentor editors. I have 4 children of my own to take care of. Did I have the time and energy and the bandwidth to help make this happen? But I heard amazing things about Esther Kiss. I met with Esther and I thought, okay, if this ever has a shot of working, I think this is it. So signed on and we did our 8 months together, and holy moly, there was not a moment wasted. Esther pulled me in right away with deep dives into who I am and my backstory and my mission and the work I want to do in the world and the different audiences that my message might be able to reach and different angles and aspects of that message that might appeal to different types of outlets. One of the most intense but also insightful deep dives that I've done during an onboarding process. And I've been onboarded into a variety of coaching and, done for you programs and things like that. But working with Esther, as I said, no time wasted. And the initial process was intense and very insightful. It made me really look at myself and my messaging in a whole new way. So we kicked off right with that. And then Esther went to work. Esther is unlike any other professional that I really worked with in that she has this incredible just breadth of association. She's thinking about all the different angles in which your message might meet the story that a journalist at a specific publication is writing. And she is intaking an incredible amount of possibilities. She curates them and then she sent them to me one by one. And every single day there was a new opportunity sitting in my inbox, maybe several. And what I loved about working with Esther is that, as I said, she has an incredible amount of insight into what might work for you. She curates all of that, brings it to you, and then she follows up. Esther follows up like no one I have ever worked with, which is an incredible advantage in this day and age. And it's not AI follow-up, right? We all know that. We all know the cold email AI stuff that's going around now. This is Esther's personal relationships, and you can feel it on the client side because people are saying yes to story ideas. They're asking for, a quote or a specific angle, and Esther is helping to mediate this relationship. And that's really what you feel when you work with Esther, is that not only do you have a relationship with Esther, but Esther has a relationship with a lot of other journalists and media folks out there. And so there was a lot of creativity in how my message and my mission might speak to a particular audience. And there was no pressure. If an opportunity came into Esther and she passed it to me and said, "Hey, Morgan, what do you think?" If I said, "No, I think I'm going to pass on this," No problem. On to the next, and there was always plenty of opportunities. From the first pitch that we considered together to the very last bits of our, predetermined time of working together in this media push, we had easily hundreds of opportunities. And Esther helped me to curate those and to pick which ones I was going to respond to. Frankly, if I'd had more time, I could have had 10 times the number of different interviews and quotes and articles published. There was just that much available. And that surprised me because who cares about a book publisher? Well, as it turns out, when you are creative the way that Esther is, a lot of people might care about your mission or your message, maybe more than you think. So it was amazing that there were so many opportunities, and really at the end of the day, it was my bandwidth that kind of capped us. But I would highly recommend working with Esther. Even given my personal constraints, we were able to get phenomenal results. As I said, big placements in media outlets that I had never had exposure to before. The Forbes, the MSN, the Fox Business, the NBC, the Go Banking, the CMS Wire. I have this folder full of all these icons now. BBC WorkLife, Yahoo Finance, AOL, NASDAQ. So many of these that I can now use, ongoing, and I can link them to the specific articles, interviews that I was featured in for that verifiable media representation. So I have been incredibly happy with my time working with Esther. I look forward to when we do another media push, and I will be able to work with Esther again and get even bigger, better results. And if you are thinking about either diving into the world of media and PR, or maybe doing another round for yourself, I would definitely recommend that you reach out to Esther and consider working with her. It's been a phenomenal experience from my perspective, and I hope that this has been helpful in you thinking about your own media and PR opportunities. Thank you, Esther. You're the best.